Hey guys, I'm on my way to Wilmington. Yep. Whoops. Didn't see that taxi cab behind me. I need to put mirrors on the end of my driveway so I can see who's out there, so I don't end up in an accident. But it's all good. I'm excited about today. I don't even know why. I just, do you ever have just a good feeling about the day, about the week, you know? And when you have that feeling, I just encourage you just to go with it. Go with it. You know, most of the time I have to discipline myself to not fall into depression or despair. So I push my positive attitude until it becomes a reality. You know, I speak good things. You guys see, I do the videos, you know, but really the videos are for me, to kind of encourage myself, because when I speak these words of life and, you know, going after your dreams and being faithful and believing, it changes my own inner perception. And that's the power of this. That's the power of us, you know, talking out loud, whether you're in counseling or whether you're in front of the mirror. When we talk, when we speak, when we hear the words that come out of our mouth, it will create our reality, because our perceptions transfer into actions. We do what we believe. So if you are speaking negativity over your life, you're never going to be loved, you're never going to be appreciated, you're never going to be successful, you're never going to be financially stable, you're never going to have a house. You know, if you keep saying all these "I'm never" statements in your mind, well, you know, I mean, look at your life. It's become your reality. So in order to defeat that, we have to change the recording and start playing some new tapes. I know we've all heard that. You know, some of us have been in counseling so long it's become redundant. But the problem is that you're not applying what you learn in treatment. You're not applying what you learn in church. We get a lot of great, incredible information, but it's worthless if we don't apply it, okay? So I'm encouraging you guys to speak life and live your life. So on that note, I wanted to talk about one of the things in my book. One of the biggest things I write in the book is about the team of people in your life. Your support network is an understatement of what we're trying to develop. You are your own corporation. And in order for it to be successful, you have to have successful people in your life. So I talk about mentors, encouragers, teachers, a lot of different aspects of people that you need in your life in order for you to be able to overcome every obstacle. And I go over that in detail. But right now, I want to talk about your peers. Okay. Your peers are one of the critical components of creating the life that you want. And I guess, you know how your parents always said, you know, what do they say? Birds of a feather flock together. I know that's old. But you know how they always encouraged us to hang out with the kids that are studying, the kids that are active, the kids that are making good choices. Don't hang out with the burnouts. Don't hang out with the dropouts. Don't hang out with the gangbangers. You know, don't do it, because you'll start adopting their characteristics. It's the same thing in marriage. You would not believe how many couples I've seen that don't realize how similar they become. Now, I don't know if they're like that in the beginning, but, you know, in the Bible it says when two become one. It is a true statement. The personalities start to blend as they adapt to each other, even if they're dysfunctional. I was talking to this one couple, and they didn't realize how stubborn they both were and how they both get angry over the same thing. And they're both insecure in the same areas. It was really kind of funny. But in doing that, if we want, how do I put this? If we want to have this epic lifestyle, not average. I mean, I think people who say I just want an average lifestyle are people who are afraid to actually go after their dreams. Nobody dreams about being average, okay? Nobody dreams about, being mediocre. We dream about being the best at what we do, and you have to be honest enough to admit that to yourself. I think when people struggle with accepting the challenge to improve themselves, they're scared. I think there's some internal fear that's going on, and it's funny because my mom is I love her to death, but my mom is often trying to get me to slow down and to not do so much, especially when I'm working out. She'll be the first one to say, aren't you doing too much? And mind you, my mom has never worked out in a day in her life. She does little dance steps at home while she's cooking in the kitchen and never breaks a sweat, which is cute, but it's not a workout. I remember I was at home with her, and I was showing her a real quick routine that would help her, and it was just doing chair squats, and did I show her how to do planks? I think it was just chair squats and shoulder raises, where you're doing this with just some light weights. And I remember her doing it for about 2 minutes, and she had made the comment that I'm starting to perspire. And I'm cracking up, and she's starting to breathe a little hard, and I'm like, yeah, Mom, we're working out. If you're not sweating, you're not working out. And it was just funny, but she wanted to go with me to the gym one time, her and my dad. It was probably one of the most embarrassing moments of my life, because my dad's got on these freaking 1950 tube socks, green, I think he had green shorts on and a purple tank top, and my mom, I don't know what my mom had on, but they're following me, watching me do every exercise on each piece of equipment. And I'm just like, oh my God, I was so glad that we were at I think it was at one of those kind of gyms for a community. So there weren't any girls in there at the time, and I was like, thank God, because it was embarrassing, because they're walking behind me like, okay, what are you doing now? Okay, you don't think that's too much weight? And I'm like, you guys don't even know how much the weight is. But needless to say, if I followed my mom, I would never, I'd never challenge myself. And I think that's the problem we have in our life. When we're afraid, we seek comfort instead of challenge. And in order for us to achieve our dreams, we have to accept the challenge. So part of doing that, part of going after things that are bigger than us, it's essential that we have a team of great peers that can run with you. So I remember the second trip we went backpacking, and I had been working out in the gym, working on my legs, and I was really excited to go this time, because I was like, this time I'm going to really kind of keep up, because I told you guys about the first time. But this time I'm going to really keep up, and I'm not going to disappoint them, and we're going to do this thing. And I remember we wanted to travel to see the rivers, and the guy, of course, we don't study. We don't listen to the weather, because there was a tropical storm coming, and we didn't even think about that. So the guy tells us that, that the rivers are this way. He shows us the path, gives us the map, and he says he wasn't sure if it was passable, because when you take the river crossing, you have to cross over the river several times to get to the campsite. And he says if the water is too high and the currents are running too fast, we shouldn't try to cross it because it'll be dangerous. It'll sweep us away. So we're like, okay, all right, no problem. You know, my pastor, he's got the confidence of like 10 men. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. And you know, and I had my new hiking gym shoes. They were waterproof, and I was like, okay, let's go. So we're hiking, and I'm keeping the pace. You know, and I've got pictures and videos on my Facebook page if you want to check it out. But I'm keeping the pace, and we're moving, and I don't know, we're like 8 miles into it, and it's all downhill, but the terrain is, you know, it's the same. It's rocky. We're going underneath trees, over trees, because they'd fallen on the path. I remember putting on the freaking mosquito net, and I was joking with my pastor because I said, you look like a serial killer, because he had this mosquito net over his face, but then I had to put it on myself because the mosquitoes were like flying into my mouth. And I know you're saying, well, Will, you should have just stopped talking, but whatever. I wasn't talking, I was just breathing hard, okay? So shut up. So anyways, we're hiking, and we eventually get to the campsite, and I was starting to get kind of winded towards the end, because my goal was to keep my pastor in eyesight the whole time, and I had brought walkie-talkies in case we got separated. And so I finally get to the campsite. He had got there, of course, ahead of us, and I was dizzy, and I sat down, and I literally passed out. And it scared everybody. I kind of knew what was going on, because what had happened is when I work out, when I'm doing something really strenuous, I don't drink water, and I hadn't eaten, you know. So my sugar, I'm diabetic. My sugar had dropped to dangerous levels, and you know, I've done that in the gym a couple times. I remember I did one of the first times I was at Flex World, and Heidi, the manager, let me lay in the tanning booth, and she just gave me sips of a protein drink to help get me back up. But she was scared, and it was a day. I had done spin class, and then I'd worked out with my trainer, and then I think I did the treadmill after that, and I wasn't drinking enough water, and I hadn't eaten. So on the hiking trip, I mean, you burn easily burn at least 2,000 calories on day one, okay? Because we hike at least 5 to 8 miles with and I think this time I had 40 pounds on my back. So you burn at least 2,000 calories. And I hadn't eaten. And I was so nauseous, I couldn't eat. So Ray's giving me like little bits of trail mix, and Bishop went and got me water. And at one time, he walked away, and he said he was going to go see if he could find help. And I'm thinking in my, you know, kind of dizziness, like, we're in the middle of nowhere. There is no help. And really what he did is he went off to go pray because he was scared. And so Ray put my tent up for me, and eventually I was better, because, you know, I got food in me, and I got water in me, and I rehydrated, and I was okay. And that's really the main reason why I work out so hard now, because I don't want to scare them again when I go backpacking again. You know, I want, and mind you, I'm going to drink water, and I'm going to eat, don't worry, but I know how much they care about me. You know, so the second day we hiked. It started to rain. I'm sorry, I know this video is a little long, but it started to rain because we were hit by the tropical storm. So we woke up in the middle of the night, and Bishop was like, you know, we got to go, because we would have been trapped, because the water was rising, and he was looking at the water, and he's like, we got to go. So we got up, and we decided we were going to take this trail, and it was supposed to be a shortcut, but we weren't thinking that it was a mountain. And I know I talked about this before, but the mountain took us it was hard. And at one point, Ray and Bishop started to carry my backpack because I was tired. But it was too long, so I took the backpack back and I said, look, I'll carry it. Don't worry. I'm gonna be fine. And Bishop was so worried about me, he took off and ran up the mountain. And there actually ended up being 2 mountains. So he jogged it, ran up it, because he wanted to go find help for me. And I was worried about him. So I didn't stop moving because I was afraid something would happen to him on the trail. While he would twist an ankle or whatever. And, there are bears out there. There were bears out there. We saw some. So I said I got to keep moving. I can't stop because I don't want something to happen to him. So Ray stayed with me, and we just gradually made it up through the mountain and over the top and over to the other side. And it was a powerful. I would do it again because it was so cool to finish, and he was there at the end and he was so happy to see us. And at first he saw Ray because we got to the end and, it's all in the video. And it was a parking lot and we finally came out of the woods. So we took off our backpacks and Ray said he's going to walk down the road to go find Bishop's car or the truck. And he told me to just stay with the backpack. So when Bishop saw Ray and didn't see me, he got worried. And then Ray said, no, Will's out. He's just back down the way with the backpacks. And it was just, it just was a really bonding moment for us. Because we weren't going to leave each other. And they didn't leave me. And that's so powerful when you're traveling in this thing called life. To have people that you can count on. It doesn't mean you always agree. It doesn't mean you're not going to get on each other's nerves. It doesn't mean that you might accidentally hurt each other's feelings. But it means that you have a family. And when you can accept the reality of being around real people with real issues that really love you, you really become unstoppable. Because you're going to trust them to give you good advice, whether you want to hear it or not. You're going to trust them to be there when you need them, and vice versa. And it takes a little while to find those people. But some of us don't even try to find them. We've given up on society and human beings as a whole. And you won't know the magic of having a committed relationship if you don't have any friends that you're committed to, okay? You won't know how to do that. You won't know how to manage intimacy if you don't have any friends that you're intimate with. So that's just my topic today about, really investing in people, in your team. These are the people that are going to help you climb the mountain. Okay? So I love you guys. Sorry this video is so long. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.